Lightroom has just made a huge update to the masking panel with a bunch of amazing new masking tools to make selective adjustments easier than ever. Now, even if you're more of a Photoshop user, everything that you learn here in this video also applies to the masking tools in Camera Raw, as they're very similar to the ones in Lightroom. So regardless of which program you're using, this video is going to help you make the most of your selective adjustments to use them more creatively. Hello friend, my name's Brendan from BeWillCreative.com, and today we're going to talk about all the new selective adjustments in Lightroom and how you can use them more creatively, as well as some extra tips that you might not have considered before. Now, the two images that we'll be working with today are these two photos that I took the other week, and they are pretty good examples for testing these masking tools because we have a lot more going on in the photo than just a subject in a blurred background. There's a lot of things that are going on in each of these images that can throw off the masking tools. Now, to access the masking tools, none of that has changed. It's accessed right here in the masking panel within the develop module. Now, when you have yet to create a mask, you'll see this window here where you can choose between the different selective adjustment options. Now, you're likely already familiar with the brush, the gradients, and the different range options here. So we're just going to be focusing on the couple of new settings and how we can use them to customize our edits. So in particular, the objects, the subject, the sky, and the background here. Now, you'll also notice this little tab here that says people. And if I drop this down, in this case, it says no people are found, which is kind of interesting considering we both see a person right here. But if I go over to the other photo, and once again in my masking panel, you can now see that there is a person visible. So I've noticed that Lightroom does a pretty good job with identifying people, but it does sometimes mess up when it's more of a profile view. So in this particular photo, you can see how the subject is looking down, it's from the side. So their face is just a little bit less identifiable compared to this image where you can see both of their eyes and their mouth. So the AI that Lightroom is using doesn't get thrown off as easily. Now, this people adjustment is something that is brand new to Lightroom, and it is super helpful when you're editing portraits or when you just want to edit parts of your subject rather than selecting their entire body. If you had multiple subjects in your photo, you would see person 1, 2, 3, etc., and you could click between them depending on the one you wanted to select. However, in this case, I just have one subject, so I'm going to click on that person option. Now this opens some additional masking options where you can either select the entire person, or you can select different areas such as just their face, just their body, just their eyebrows, irises and pupils, lips, teeth, hair, etc. So this is a really good way to help retouch your photo without having to go into Photoshop and use more complicated tools that you might have used previously. Instead, you can just go through here and touch up exactly what you need to on your subject just by selecting the different options here. Now you can check different settings depending on what you'd like to adjust, and you can either choose to add them all to a single mask, which means all of them will be adjusted at the same time, or you can tick this little option here that says create 4 separate masks. This will obviously say a different number depending on how many settings you have enabled here. With that option checked, I'll choose create mask, and now look what happens here. We have individual masks for each part of my subject's body. So we have the lips, we have the iris and pupil, we have the eyebrows, and then we have the body and skin. So that way you can go through each of these masks and make custom adjustments for those specific areas rather than editing everything at once. So in this particular photo, these settings don't really do a ton for me, but they're definitely worth being aware of, especially if you're working with portrait images. I'm just going to clear all of these masks by choosing delete all masks. And now let's go and talk about the sky selection option. Now, a lot of times you will have an image such as this one, where the sky is relatively bright compared to the foreground. So obviously the sky might need to be toned down a bit while the foreground would need to be brightened. So this is kind of a conflict of interest because if I tried to brighten the photo, then the sky would become blown out. And if I tried to darken, then the foreground would become too dark. So that's where selecting the sky becomes very helpful, because if I choose select sky, it will automatically create a selection of my sky. And from there, I can add customized adjustments specifically to that area depending on what I'm wanting. So for example, I could warm it up a bit. I could maybe bring down the whites. So now turning that on and off, you can see how the sky just has a more warm sunset feel without any of the other parts of the photo being selected. Now this is a relatively simple selection for Lightroom to do because it has the defined edges of the tree, a very defined edge around our subject, and there's not any gaps such as in this photo where the sky is visible in multiple areas. So we have the sky here, we have it between his legs, and then around the trees over here as well. So let's see how the select sky option does here. Choosing select sky, once again, it does a really impressive job to select the sky entirely, and then that way we can just go and adjust the sky separate from our subject. Now, after you've created your first mask, you then have the masking panel. And when you click on the masking adjustment here, it just opens the masking panel and you don't have that initial masking window that we started with. So that means we have to choose the create new mask option to select one of our other masking adjustments that we'd like to add. So now let's next talk about the objects selection tool. If you're familiar with Photoshop, this works very similar to the object selection tool in the sense that you can either create a rectangular marquee selection around your subject, or you can manually paint where you want the selection to be active, essentially. So with your select objects masking adjustment selected, you have two different modes. The first mode is called brush select and the second is called rectangle select. Let's go through both of them to see how they work. With the brush select option selected, that means I have this little brush icon that's very similar to the adjustment brush. I can scale it just by scrolling my mouse here or with the size slider in the settings panel. Now I want to scale this brush down to be just slightly larger than my subject because we're defining an area for Lightroom to create a selection from. So we want to include all of our subject and just a little bit outside of our subject so Lightroom knows exactly what to select. So I'll go and paint around my subject's arm, down his body, over onto this leg, and then of course over the rest of him as well. So something like this. Now, as you can see, the adjustment brush area that I just added is very close to my subject. So now when I let go, Lightroom will have a very easy time to select him separate from the background. Now, in many cases, when there's a more complicated background, you will end up with some excess selection that isn't necessarily your subject. So for example, the skateboard and the tree in the background here. We can touch that up using the exact same tool. However, before we do that, let's quickly talk about the other option, which is the rectangle mode. So undoing that and going back to the objects selection option, we're gonna choose the rectangle mode this time. And now what I have is I can click and drag out to create an area that I'm basically telling Lightroom, hey, within this box, there's a subject that I need you to select. So ideally, you want to have this box as close to your subject as possible so that it doesn't get thrown off by any background distractions. Once your subject is inside that box, you can let go and Lightroom will do its magic. Once again, we have a very similar selection to what we had previously with the skateboard as well as the tree in the background being selected. Now to take this one step further, we can continue to use this exact same tool to refine our selection so that just our subject is active and there's nothing left over in the background within our mask. To do that, all we have to do is choose our mask and click on the subtract option. Now we have all of our masking tools available to us that we can use to subtract from our active selection. In this case, I'll choose the objects option and I'll set this to the brush mode. Now I can go and paint over the areas that I want to remove from my selection. So I'll go and paint over here like so. And Lightroom will automatically remove that tree, and so the masking area is stuck to my subject's leg. I'll now do this one more time, going to select objects, the brush mode, and now I'm going to paint over the skateboard, and this will remove the selection around the skateboard without affecting my subject. As you can see, the skateboard is now completely unaffected by the adjustments, so I can go and adjust my subject without worrying about anything else. So this is super powerful and useful when you're trying to adjust the exposure in your photo, because many times your subject will be dark and your background will be brighter, especially when they're against the sky like this. So being able to select your subject and then refine that selection like we just did here really goes a long ways for customizing the look of your images and getting the perfect exposure. Now back here in my other example, let's go and talk about the select background, which is another new masking feature in Lightroom. By choosing select background, now Lightroom will automatically select the background that is not your subject. So essentially anything that is not the defining point of a photo or a person will be selected. In this case, the red highlight indicating our selection is around pretty much the entire background, but not our subject. Now, just like before, there are a few little issues here where it missed some parts between his leg and around the skateboard as well. So rather than using the subtract option, we can go to add, and now once again, go to the objects setting. With the brush mode active, I can go and paint between his legs here like so, and Lightroom will do a really good job to fill that in. And with the help of the select objects masking mode, it just does a bit of a better job to stick around the edges without spilling over and accidentally selecting something you didn't want. Well, once again, go to add objects, and then I can go and mask over the skateboard as well, because I'm gonna just include that in the background. If there are any other areas that you're still having troubles with, such as around the foot, then in that case, I would opt to use a manual method such as the adjustment brush by going to add and then brush, and now I can just go and paint around his foot like so, and that way we have perfectly selected the background just like that. So now we can affect the background exposure or the color or anything like that without worrying about our subject or skin tones and things like that. So now that you see how we can use these selective adjustments to get more refined with our edits, let's go and use a few different settings together to enhance this sunset while brightening up our subject. I'm going to start by deleting all the masks here, and what I want to do is add a sunset glow coming over the trees while brightening up my subject so that obviously they're a bit more visible. Now, since I want to add a nice sunsetty glow coming over these trees, I'm going to start by adding a linear gradient and clicking and dragging down like so that way we're selecting the sky and then that adjustment will slowly fade out as it goes down the image. The only thing is that I don't want my subject to be selected, so rather than having to manually go through and mask out my subject, there's an easier way to do this by going to subtract and then select subject. So because we chose the subtract option, when we chose our subject, Lightroom is removing it from our initial mask here. Hopefully you're following me there. Now, once again, there was a bit of a space left over between his legs, so we need to add that back in. Now, rather than using the object selection option like we had done previously, what we need to do instead is use our adjustment brush, because with the linear gradient, there's varying levels of opacity down here as the gradient transitions. So if I just went and used the select objects method, this would be 100% selected and become more affected than the areas around it. Instead, by going to add and then brush, I can choose a feather, flow, and density to a relatively low setting, and then that way when I paint over this area, it's a lot more subtle and it will fit more naturally with the general gradient that we have behind it. Since I'm going near the edge of a subject, having auto mask enabled is very useful. If you're unfamiliar with auto mask and how that works, I'll leave a video up in the corner explaining how that works in more detail. Now that our mask is complete, we can begin to add our adjustments. So I'll brighten it up a bit, add some warming effects, as well as just play around with the highlights, reduce the clarity to make it a bit more glowy, and things like that. If you decide that you want to move your mask, all you have to do is click on the little rectangle here that will select your primary mask, and then you can just drag this down accordingly to change how that glow in the background is being affected in this case. Of course, this will change a little bit depending on your particular photo. Now that we have that nice background glow added, let's go and select our subject, because of course he's much too dark for how the ideal photo or exposure would look. To do that, we'll go to create new mask, and I'm going to choose objects because sometimes select subject gets thrown off by other things in the photo like the skateboard or some of the background here. So instead, I'm going to set this to the brush mode, and I will begin to just paint around my subject here. So I'm very clear with Lightroom exactly what I want selected, and hopefully it will do a better job to not make any mistakes. My mask is pretty close to perfect there, but I just need to touch up the skateboard, so I'll go to subtract, brush, and then I can move my density up once again and just go and mask out this area of the skateboard. Now that my subject is perfectly selected, I can begin to edit him independently from the background to make it look a little bit more balanced exposure-wise. So now if I turn that mask on and off, you can see the massive difference that that makes, but it still looks natural for the image that we're working with. As for the background, you can see that nice glow really helps to give it a bit more of a different vibe. And yes, I know the sky is completely white, but I think that's the kind of aesthetic that I like for this particular photo. So although we had two primary masks, you can see how I used a variety of other adjustments within our masks to help bring this effect together and balance our exposure. If we go and look at the before and after of our image here, going back and forth, you can see the huge difference that that makes, and it's all done with the help of our masks. So hopefully this video helped you to better understand the new masking features in Lightroom, as well as some little tips to help use them more effectively in your workflow. Now again, if you're a Photoshop user, remember that pretty much everything you learned here will apply over in Camera Raw, so you can use these skills in both programs interchangeably. Now if you're still watching and you love using Lightroom, make sure to grab my free Lightroom presets down below. All you have to do is sign up to my email list and I'll send them over to you right away. And with that, my name is Brendan from BeWellCreative.com, and I'll catch you back here next time for another new tutorial. See you then.